Bezat Hashem, B'shat U'Maslachat, B'shat Hashem's help. Today is the 19th of the month of Tevet, which is Sunday, the first day of Parashat Shabbat, Parashat Vayera. Bezat Hashem, today the two mitzvot shayachot to this day. Mitzvah number 185, Avodat Yom HaKippurim B'Beit HaMikdash. Right? So that's the mitzvah 185, obligation and the fulfillment of the mitzvah. So we'll just touch on that a little bit, Bezat Hashem. And mitzvah number 186, mitzvah of Din Kodshim Shenishchatu Ba'aretz, any sanctified korbanot that were shechted, which is again there's a mitzvah deoraita asur is prohibited to shecht any korbanot outside of Azara. But here, what happens with them, what you're supposed to do, mitzvah 186, we'll discuss of the consequences. So with Hashem's help, but with your permission, Chevra, we're going to start the mitzvah 185. Sheyaseh Kohen Gadol Kol Maaseh Yom HaKippurim Al Seder. So as we know that there's a Mishnah that the Chachamim they would bring the Kohen, right? They would bring the Kohen to the Lishka, right? They would train him for 7 days to be very careful and meticulous of everything that we taught him, right? And there's a whole the Mishnah that we learned about the transaction, how they bring him to the Lishka, how to make sure he is always careful to be Tahorah. Because remember, Kohen Gadol who walks into the Azara, to the Kodesh Kodashim, once a year, and if Chas v'Shalom there is any impurities, he will be smitten with death, right? So obviously there's a lot of rules to follow, and that is why he's called the Kohen Gadol, which means the elite of the elites. So the halacha is 185, he must perform korbanot, viduim, v'shiluch hasha'ar, v'shar ha'avodah. So he has to do the korbanot and he has to do the repentance, the tshuva, and all the viduim and all the things that must be done over there accordingly. As it says in the Torah, b'zot yavo Aaron el HaKodesh. Right? Over there the parasha brings down. This is with this. Ma ze zot? En zot ela Torah. As we know, the word zot is reserved for Torah. Right? As we see that by Adam HaRishon. What did he say to v'halazot ikare isha? The first wife that, right? Eshet Neurim, the Torah refers to Eshet Neurim. The wife is what? Torah, the entire Torah. That's your first wife. People make a big mistake today. They tell me, Rabbi, Shalom Bayit, I can't come to Shiur. Shalom Bayit. That's right. You're killing your Shalom Bayit by not coming to a Shiur. The best Shalom Bayit is to tell your wife, I have to visit my other wife, the first wife. The first wife is what? Learning a Torah. That's the obligation. So here, Vezot Yavo Aharon el HaKodesh. With this means that the entire Torah, that's everything that's referring to that. What is that? So the Rabbi explains, Mishoshem mitzvah, the roots, the foundation of this mitzvah, sheyeh mechazdei ha'el al briotav likvoa lahen yom echad b'shana lechapara. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, with his merciful attribute of kindness and loving towards the Jewish nation, he gave us 1 day automatically, regardless of your behavior, regardless of your situation, regardless of your statue. HaKadosh Baruch Hu automatically gave us a day of kapara for the entire nation. Ala chata'im, ala teshuvah, imat teshuvah, sheyashuvu. Here the Rambam right away points out, he's already machriya, the machloket, he was already told us, the famous machloket in the Gemara, does a person have to do teshuvah or not? Or Yom Kippur by itself will mechaper, and that's a very famous machloket in the Gemara. So here the Rambam already tells us that teshuvah and Yom Kippur is a must for it to fulfill, as it says in Enoch, right? Ima teshuvah, she'ilu itkaptzu avonot habriot, שנה שנה תתמלא סעתם לסוף שנתיים או שלוש או יותר מתחייב והעולם קליה. חס ושלום, he says, if Hashem did not have this Yom Kippur, that 1 day where automatically Hashem will be forgiving, or automatically over tshuva, as we see over here, he's machriyah to say that you must need tshuva. But let's go for a second with people who don't do tshuva. For instance, if most people, if you take a note in the whole world, right, and the whole calamity of Churban HaBayit was that HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent them 1.2 million Nevi'im, and they did not do Teshuvah. The Jewish people chose not to do Teshuvah. So you see, it's not like Rambam. Because if it was like Rambam, if Halacha was like Rambam, that everybody must do Teshuvah for the world to be forgiven, so HaKadosh Baruch Hu, why didn't Hashem destroy the whole world? As you see, in the time of the Beit HaMikdash, the Jews refused to do Teshuvah. And as we know by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the way that He judges is not the way we understand. We think, right? It says that last week everybody spoke about Ta'anit Asara B'Tevet, right? Everybody, wow, it's so hamur. It is so hamur. What was the chilul? What was the transgression? Chilul Shabbat. Chilul Shabbat, and that's why the Asara B'Tevet falls on Shabbat. We must fast on Shabbat. Why? Because Samach Melech Babel al Yerushalayim, Nebuchadnezzar relied on the fact that the Jewish people did not keep Shabbat in Yerushalayim. And Tasara B'Tevet, when he made a decree of destruction of Bet HaMikdash, it was actually Tasara B'Tevet. So you would say, wow, the Jewish people did not keep Shabbat. Take a look in your history. It's not true. One Jew did not keep Shabbat. Samach Melech Babel al Yerushalayim. Because one Jew did not keep Shabbat properly, 100% properly, HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a decree of destruction of Bet HaMikdash. So you see over here that it's not like Rambam who holds that you must do Teshuvah on Yom Kippur, otherwise the world is not forgiven. You see that it's not true. That there is the opinion that is prevalent, the world is not destroyed. Horaya, people don't want to do Teshuvah, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu still does not destroy the world. It says like this: if HaKadosh Baruch Hu did not forgive the world on that day, within a year or two, within 2-3 years, for sure the world would be destroyed. Why? Because the anger would pile up, and the destruction would be imminent. Therefore, you see from here, Zariah, just saying a nice side note, that it's not like Rambam, it's not like that Shita who holds that everybody must do Teshuvah. Yom Kippur itself, on its own, does forgiveness, and it's specifically done for that purpose. I'm learning it from the Chinuch. I'm taking the words of the Chinuch against himself. He just told you, everybody must do Teshuvah, right? So you ask a question, so how come the world is not destroyed? People don't want to do Teshuvah. Oraya, people don't want to do Teshuvah. 1.2 million Naviim came and they didn't do Teshuvah. To prove you that really, otherwise, if Hashem did not have automatic forgiveness on that day, the world would be really destroyed. Again, so therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw in His wisdom, L'kiyum ha'olam, He wanted the world to be sustained and to continue existence. So therefore, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted one day to have that element of forgiveness. Again, he is pushing his narrative. The rabbi is pushing the narrative that you must do teshuvah in order to be forgiven. But we already mentioned that. When did HaKadosh Baruch Hu decree such a thing? That day of Yom Kippur, the Atonement Day, says that Chacham, it was from the beginning of creation of this world. Not Hashem didn't wait for Jewish people for people to start doing repenting, and then He said, "Oh, say I'm going to make a Yom Kippur." No, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the 6,000 years. One of those years, one of the day in the year, will have that element of total atonement. לאחר שידו האל ברוך הוא אותו היום לכפרה, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it so that day is designated for the day of atonement, נתקדש היום וקיבל כוח הזכות מאיתו יתעלה עד שהוא מסייע בכפרה. So once the HaKadosh Baruch Hu created this world, He is in Allah lo machshava, and He said this is going to be the day designated for that day of atonement. So right automatically that day is becoming sanctification of that day is already is enough for the atonement. וזהו אמרם זיכרונם לברכה בהרבה מקומות ויום הכיפורים מכפר. And the Chachamim made it so that it says over there יום הכיפור, כלומר שיש כוח ליום בעצמו בכפרה בעבירות קלות. Over there you see that even Rambam, he does agree that certain small avirot, like what's the small avira? There is no a small avira, right? That the Mishnah tells you, Chas v'shalom, to think that there is such a thing as called small avira and a big avira. We know that everything is mitgalgel, and Chas v'shalom, a person would think that that's a small avira. But somebody asked me, what's a small avira? Small avira, I would say that what? The Rambam gives you a whole scenario, but today we could say that a person is thinking, why should I tie my shoes on the left side? Let me tie it on the right side. Right? You have those questions by a lot of youth. I deal with a lot of youth. So they tell you this. Rabbi, what's the big deal? I tie my right shoe on my left shoe. Yeah, Habibi. Chazal told you that you tie your left shoe. It sounds like a small thing, not a big deal, right? You tie the right side, you have the left side. First of all, it's more convenient, by the way. It's more convenient. I tell the kids, I say, you know why you tie your left shoe? Because Hamim were very meticulous about how to, chas v'shalom, not to mistreat you. Why? Very simple. You put on a shoe on the right side, and then what you're supposed to do? Put on a shoe on the left side. So once you're on the left side, so tie your shoe while you're there. The Chachamim are so convenient. They don't want to inconvenience you. The whole thing is so beautiful. Hazal, I'm telling you, obviously, there's more Yisodot, whatever. But I'm just telling you, to make it more easier to have it easier on your mind, just think for a second. You are on the left side already, so tie your shoes on the left side and then go to the right. But anyway, that's the simplest way.
It's a flaw in what you're saying.
How is it a flaw?
You put in the right shoe, tie it up.
No, again, they told you to put on the right shoe and then to put on the left. Hold on. The inyan over here is you have to put on your shoes. Why you put on your shoes? You know how important it is to put on shoes? The halacha is you're not allowed to walk barefoot. The halacha is Rabbi Yehuda took off one shoe and Hashem was going to destroy us, the world, if he takes off the shaki shoe. What's that? What is
you said because they are particular about their time.
You asked the question, so I'm answering you. It is important not to delay to put on shoes. How is it important? I'm telling you that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was going to destroy a world if a Jew makes himself suffer not by not putting on a shoe. So you see that the importance of putting on a shoe is more important than tying it. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rahamim tell you, put on the right shoe, very quickly. Put on the left shoe, that you shouldn't be for a tzar even for a second. Now that you have your shoes on, you're not in tzar anymore. Now, how do you tie it? You understand what the concept is? I understand where you come from.
It's not about the time.
Of course, it's not about the tying. It's about not causing you tzar.
Because everything that was important to them.
Not to cause you tzar, that's right. You want to put on a shoe. Without shoes, it's a tzar.
It got nothing to do with the timing.
What did you say? What did you say? You should not know what I know. Okay, by me, the importance is not to be without shoes. You know how much suffering I do? I have a neuropathy on my legs. You every second I'm not wearing shoes. It hurts me. Like a shoe makes it more comfortable. I actually could get up from the floor if I have shoes. If I don't have shoes, you need 3 people to pick me up from the floor. You understand what that means?
We do it because
so the Chachamim told you, put on the right shoe, and now put on the right shoe right away. Now when you put on the left shoe, tie the other way around because I believe it's one of the easiest way to understand it. Chachamim lo ratzu le'atriach otcha. Go to the right side now, go to the left. Now you're on the left side, so put on your left shoe.
No, the idea is to finish with
and don't forget, I tell you why we talk like this, because we're so spoiled. In the olden days, to put on shoes was a whole ASIC. You know it, right? To put on shoes in the olden days was a whole business. You had to tie it around there. They didn't put on shoes like we have. They had a shoe like a sandal, and there's a whole, leather rope, and here it's like a 5-minute business. It's like a 5-minute business. So now the Chachamim, you have to understand. Okay, that's where I come from, Chevra. I understand what you wanted to say, Rabbi Yosef, right? What's your first name? Daron. Rabbi Daron. Okay, thank you. Let's go back to our scenario here. Again, so but Rambam has a whole list. What is avirot kalot? What is kalot? I'm just telling you for our little what's his name? Just for our little understanding. Our sages said שביום הזה היו מקריבים תמיד בשחר ותמיד בין הערביים כסדר כל היום. So throughout just like every other day we have korban tamid in the morning, the lamb, and korban in the afternoon, right? So the same thing happens on Yom Kippur. However, on Yom Kippur there's something extra called musaf, an additional korban. Par ve'ayel ve'shiva kvasim. Not just one korban. It has to be a bull. It has to be a ram, a male ram, and 7 she-goats, she lambs. Hakol olot. So all those 9 korbanot will be olot, completely burned on Yom Kippur. V'seir lechatat v'naasa b'chutz. Now there is also another goat that would be brought as a sin offering, and it's done outside of the Beit HaMikdash. V'hu nechal la'erev. However, the chatat v'naasa lebechutz. So now that we know that chatat. What is chatat? Chatat has to be eaten, partaken. In order for the atonement to be complete, there has to be. There's no eating on Yom Kippur. So he says this seir, this goat will be shechted outside of the Zara, and will be, I guess, that will be remaining. The remnants of it will be eaten that night. ועוד מקריבין יתר על זה פר בן בקר לחטאת והוא נשרף. So besides that, there's another bull which is going to be, so now till now we said all the other ones are olah, but here is going to be another additional korban par, a bull, which will be for the chatat, for the atonement for the sins, but this one is not eaten. Again, the goat is eaten, but the bull of sin offering of a bull is not eaten, it's burned all the way. There's additional ram for the complete burning. Now, who pays for it? In this scenario, the bull. The bull and a ram those two will have to be paid by the Kohen by himself, his money. V'ayel haba mishel tzibur. However, the ram has to be brought from the money of the community that's collected of מחצית shekel. האמור בפרשה זו הוא הועיל האמור בחומש בגודים בכלל המוסף. So all those is brought down in the scenario of musaf. והוא הנקרא ayel ha'am. And this is called the ram of the entire nation. ועוד מביאים משל ציבור שני שעירי העזים. There on that day we also bring additional 2 goats from the community. אחד היו מקריבים, חטאת והוא הנשרף. One will be brought for the sin offering and it will be completely burned. והשני שעיר המשתלח. And the second one will be sent to the of the mountain, שעיר המשתלח it's called. נמצאו כל הבהמות הקריבים ביום הצום מלבד שעיר המשתלח. So all the it's going to come out from here that all that's sacrificed on that day, חוץ from the, except for the one that's been sent, שהוא אינו קרב, that's 15. This one is not brought because it's sent down off the mountain, right? That gold. So it comes out to be 15 korbanot on that day. Shnei tmidim. So again, he's repeating himself. 2 for the korban tamid. Upar or shnei elim v'shiva kvasim. So you have a bull and then you have 2 rams. So that's already, how much is that? That's 5. V'shiva kvasim, that's going to be 12. 7 plus 5 is 12. Kulan olot. All those will be brought as a olah. Ushne seirei chatat, so the 12 plus 2 more goats of the sin offering, that's going to be 14. אחד נעשה בחוץ ונאכל לערב, והשני נעשה בפנים ונשרף. One is eaten later on, when one is brought on completely. ועוד, and additionally to that, so you have 14 plus, ben bakar lechatat. Additionally, a bull that's burned completely for a sin offering. עבודת כל 15 בהמות, אלו הקורבן ביום זה אינו אלא בכהן גדול בלבד. So all those 15 bulls, the Kohen Gadol is the only one who deals with them. אחד כהן המשוח בשם מן המשחה או המרובה בבגדים. Doesn't matter which Kohen Gadol. It could be either the one that's משוח מלחמה or the one that has more בגדים, the 8 בגדים. ואם היה שבת, and if Yom Kippur falls on Shabbat, אף מוסף אין מקריב אותו אלא כהן גדול. So too, even on Shabbat, if there was additional musaf of Shabbat, also Kohen will be participating. That's 16. וכן שאר העבודות של יום כגון, הקטורת של יום הכיפורים, והטלת הנרות, הכל כהן גדול ונשוי. So everything that's related to that day, the ktoret, whatever, the frankincense, and the whole thing, everything that's brought down over there has to be done by כהן גדול שנאמר, וכפר בעדו, בעד ביתו, זו אשתו. And the Kohen Gadol is the only one who performs, as it says in the parasha. Let's finish it. So all the rules that are in reference to this mitzvah as are discussed in Masechta Yoma. מנוהגת מכל מצווה זו בזמן הבית. Obviously, this mitzvah will be only in the time of the מקדש, ועכשיו, בעוונותינו שאין לנו לא מקדש, ולא כהן גדול, ולא בגדי שרד, ולא קורבנות. Today, unfortunately, through our multitude of sins, we don't have not mikdash, we don't have Kohen Gadol, we don't have the clothing, not anything, all those things that have to be done in the korbanot. נהגו כל ישראל לעבודת היום הזה בתפילות ובתחנונים. The entire day is designated by the Jewish nation to prayer, and there we do the performance of the service in our unshalma parim sefatenu, our mouth, to compensate for instead of the korbanot. כמו שכתוב ונשלמה parim sefatenu. Okay. Now, mitzvah number 186, kodshim shenishchatu b'chutz. You could continue, Okay. So what happens is, if there was a sin, somebody took the sanctified animal and shechted it chutz la'azara. Shelo lezavoach kodshim chutz la'azara. So the first rule is, it's asur. It's prohibited for a kohen or anybody to do any sacrifices outside of the azara. And this is called shechting, slaughtering the animal outside. It says over there that who slaughters or a bull or a car, right? A cow or kevesev or what's his name? A ram or a goat. And he did not shecht it in the tent of the testimony. Dam shapach v'nichrat. So this is called, a person is what? He is spilling bal tashchit. He just killed the animal for nothing. And not just that, what is his punishment? V'nichrat. that human being who performed such an act, he took an animal that was supposed to be sanctified, brought it in the Beit HaMikdash, he shechted it outside. He is like killing he's like a murderer. He's just like a murderer. He just killed an animal. That is called Baltashchit, he wasted, and because of the gravity of the sin, his soul will be cut off. What is going on here? ואין עזרה לנו מזה הכתוב.
Do a korban outside of the Beit HaMikdash?
Yes. There's ואין עזרה לנו בזה הכתוב. We do not have a warning from this pasuk, says the rabbi. כי הכתוב הזה לא יפרש כי אם העונש. This pasuk is telling you the punishment. וקיים עלן לא ענש אלא אם כן הזיר. So the rabbi says, I don't understand. This pasuk is only telling you punishment, but in order for a Jew to be punished, according to even from the Shamayim, there has to be a warning from in the Torah. And if there's no warning, it doesn't work. So what's going to be here? The rabbi is actually telling us a warning from what is learned in proximity to this. What does that mean? The Gemara Zvachim rolls down the following learning. שאמרו זכרותם לברכה, שם השוחט והמעלה בחוץ, חייב על השחיטה וחייב על העלייה. The one who slaughters the animals outside of the Beit HaMikdash and also burns it for Hashem over there outside, he is going to be punished for both. He's punished for shechting and for burning it. Pirush aliyah srefa ba'esh. What does that mean? Elevating it, it's talking about he burned it. V'yikshu sham, and rabbis have juxtaposed over there that bishlema ve'aliyah aktiv onish. So here we see that for burning it, a person gets punished. Uktiv azara, and over there, in reference to burning, there is a strict prohibition of burning. So onish ve'al petach ohel moed lo heviyu. The punishment that says over there that you should not. Once you shechted it outside, you should not bring it to Ohel Moed, to the tent of the testimony. V'nichrat. So if you did, the Torah tells us, if somebody who shechted outside and now he brings it inside Beit HaMikdash, he will be what? And he burns it in Beit HaMikdash, he will be what? He will be karof. Azara, shamer lecha pen ta'aleh olotecha. There, the Torah tells you a warning. Be cautious not to burn inside your sacrifices from outside inside. Rabbi Avin, the Amar Rabbi Avin, as Rabbi Avin told us, Amar Rabbi Elai, in the name of Rabbi Elai, Kol Makom Shenemar Ishamer. Anywhere the Torah tells you, be careful, be cautious, pen, or the word pen, or the pen ve'el, Eno Ela Mitzvat Lo Ta'aseh. Right? Anytime the Torah tells you to be cautious, it means it's a prohibition, not to perform the act. אלא שחיטה בשלמה עונש כתיב על פתח. So it says over there that shchita, so from shechting we understand. עונש כתיב, it's telling you a warning. ועל פתח, you're not allowed to bring it inside the tent of testimony. אלא אזהרה מנהלן, so how do I know the warning? From where? ואחר יגיע רבא ואמרו שם, כי הכתוב אומר שם תעלה ושם תעשה. So over there it's telling you that wherever you are to sacrifice, that's where are you to burn it. So we see there is an importance that wherever you shech, that's where you burn the animal, the sacrifice. So we see that if you are, the Torah warned you from burning it, only unless where you have dealt the sacrifice. So see, obviously, that if you did the sacrifice outside of the Azara, and now you're prohibited to burn it inside, so obviously they're both prohibited. The shechting and the burning. So you see, Kadosh Baruch Hu included both the prohibition of the shecht, bringing it, burning it, and shechting it outside. So see over here also that the prohibition of a person who takes an animal, who sanctifies the animal, and then shecht it outside of the Azara, he gets punished the same way as when he brings it and burns it in the Azara. Okay. Sorry. Mitzvah, what are the roots of this mitzvah? לפי שהשם ברוך הוא קבע מקום לישראל להביא שם קורבנות ולהכין שם לבבם עליו. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu, why is HaKadosh Baruch Hu so meticulous where we do the shechting? Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to designate a special place where the Jewish people's heart and soul will be attached to it. ומתוך קביעת המקום וגדולתו ויראתו על לב בני אדם, and because the place is sanctified for that purpose, everyone will have awe of that makom, of that place. And the person will have fear and awe and honor for that makom. נפשם מתפעלת שם לטוב. And I guess obviously coming into that makom, to that area, will elevate you, and you will have that certain sanctification and certain elevation by coming there. והלבבות מתרחבים ונכנעים לקבל שם מלכות שמיים לשלימה. Right? As you see, להבדיל, if you take a look at all the best way, right? Unfortunately, today we have movies. Everybody asks why we have movies. I'll tell you why we have movies. Sometimes you see an Indian movie from 50s, 40s, 60 years ago, right? And they're so crazy about Avodah Zarah. And not just Indian movie, any movie that has any linking into Avodah Zarah, of the idol worship, people are in awe and inspiration, right? There is some kind of draw. Like, oh wow, I don't want to say that this one, there's some kind of elevation, there's some kind of connection. People are building that connection. Why? Because it's a build-up. So too over here, Kadosh Baruch Hu le'avdil bin million avdalot, which is true. But the mokum is mukdash. The mokum is a build-up. You have a build-up just thinking about coming there, because it's so sanctified. So that's why Kadosh Baruch Hu did it. על כן, מנענו השם מעשות מעשה הקורבנות רק במקום ההוא כדי שתהיה כפרה שלמה לנו. הקדוש ברוך הוא therefore has restricted every other place. He gave you one special place where it will be a build-up for you to go there, and just by thinking, just by coming close to the welcome, you're becoming already elevated and spiritually, and you have more coming closer to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That's why Kadosh Baruch Hu designated the Mokum, the one place. בכלל הדברים, כי כל אשר יציבנו לטוב לנו, because הקדוש ברוך הוא wanted everything that is good for us, כמו שכתבנו, כי האל חפץ בטובת בריאותיו, בטובו הגדול. הקדוש ברוך הוא, through his greatness, he always wants what's good for us. ואמרו, כי מי שהקריב חוץ לאותו המקום, הנבחר דם יחשב לו. And for Hamim went so far to teach us that anybody who sacrifices an animal outside of that place is like a murderer. והעניין הוא כי השם לא התיר לבני אדם בשר בשאר בעלי חיים רק לכפרה או לצורכי בני אדם. For really, הקדוש ברוך הוא did not allow us to kill animals for nothing, unless it's for what's his name, for kapara, or for food, כגון מזון או רפואה, or for physical healing, or for eating or to sustaining, or כל דבר שיש בו שום צורך בני אדם, as long as there is a need, like a fur, like you want to wear clothing of the animals, you want to write Sefer Torah, so all those things. אבל להמיתם מבלי שום תועלת כלל, יש בדבר השחתה ונקרא שופך דם. A person goes fishing. Why are you going fishing? Just for the sport of it. What do you do with the animal? I went fishing once, and I always go fishing on a boat for one purpose. There's only one purpose I go fishing. Is to eat the fish. No, fish? I'm enjoying fishing. What are you enjoying fishing? You're torturing the animal, murdering the animal for nothing. Yeah. One time I was with a Jewish family, the whole thing, and they were catching a lot of fish. I said to them, please do me a favor. If you catch fish, you don't eat it, give it to us. Yeah. Some people are crazy, they do it for sport. And no, we eat it, and in the end they threw all the fish out.
They threw the fish in
all the fish dead and killed.
No?
What?
The fish were probably dead. When they take them out of the water, they die like...
Right, but then instantly, but the question is, are you allowed to do that? Of course not. Yeah. Fishing for sport is asur. It's asur legamre. Murdering animals for no reason? For fun of it? Now, what about hunting? Hunting is also asur. For the fun of it? Unless you're a hunter. What do you do here in America?
What about pests? Like they kill these iguanas because they're oversaturated.
That's right. So that's allowed. So that's what I was gonna hit that animal. There is an animal called a pig, and in America there is a big mahala. A lot of farmers are being troubled by pigs overtaking the farms.
Oh yeah, in Texas.
That's right. So what they do, they hire people with snipers, and they're going around and killing these animals. Yeah. That is a hunting allowed. Or in New Jersey, they're hunting for bears. There is overpopulation of bears, and they harm people. That will be allowed. Yeah. That is to save human beings, you're allowed to. But to kill animals for nothing, just for fun of it, chas v'shalom. unless you make money out of it. Poachers, right? They call them
They make
poachers.
money by the
Selling, yeah, that I'm allowed. That's allowed, 1,000%. Yes, Rabbi Sofer said it's allowed. I don't care who hears me because the truth of the matter, I don't care. I don't care. Hashem created that for a business. If somehow the horn of that certain animal is worth a lot of money, and a human being survives from it and makes money out of it, what's the big deal? What's your problem? No, you can make up a rule. What's the fake rule that they made up? There is such a thing called extinct. These animals go extinct. It's not true. No animal will ever go extinct. It's a false narrative. Not one animal went ever extinct, and no animal will ever go extinct.
What about the top of the Mishkan? Apparently, there's an animal.
That's Rashi says. Not everybody agrees with Rashi because Rashi went against the norm. According to Chinuch, he went against the other Rishonim who said there is no such a concept. HaKadosh Baruch Rashi says Tayash was made specifically only for the Mishkan. Just for that time, Hashem made the Tayash. Rambam and everybody disagrees with Rashi and says no such a thing. And Chadash Tachat HaShemesh. Tayash is actually the giraffe, according to most opinions. Anyway, so if it's a giraffe, what do you mean it's extinct? According to Rashi, that's very strange. Rashi there. So Rashi didn't believe that we have such a concept, but Rambam and the Chinuch both agree that there is no such a thing as extinct animals. Whatever Hashem created for 6,000 years, not one animal will extinct. It will never extinct. So if you ask me why I'm okay with people going hunting for horns of certain animals, why not? If that makes them money, that's parnasa, go ahead. What's the shaila here? What's the shaila? As long as you're not causing tsar to the animal, you're killing it right away and you make money out of it, what's the big deal? Okay, listen, everybody to each his own. You choose to make money of I don't know what. This guy chose maybe to make money out of this. What do you want from them? Okay, that's not called murder for no reason. Here you see.
The rhinos, they get a horn for the ivory, and now they made it illegal to kill the rhinos for
but killing animals is illegal, but killing humans is okay. Experimenting on humans is okay. You know those things on bottles they write the deodorants and all this thing. No animal testing. No animal testing, but human testing, it's a beautiful thing. It's permissible today. Experiments on humans. Nuremberg Code was thrown out from the books 1954. As soon as it was passed, a few years later, it was thrown into garbage. Experimenting on humans in the world wide since forever already. From 1953, they're experimenting legally on humans. That is allowed. You hear what's going on? Killing a rhino, that's prohibited. But experimenting on humans and harming them and torturing them, it's allowed. This is the world we live today. By the way. Even though you didn't kill a human being, you killed an animal. You're not prohibited to kill animals for no reason. It's prohibited completely. Well, listen, I'm not talking about listening to a person who says fishing for fun is asur. And here I am telling you to kill a rhino for its horn, for its mercury, whatever it is, it's fine, and it's a mitzvah, it's okay. Not a problem at all. You just have to be in your brain and your spot, in your place. When you can make up stupid rules and say, oh, it's illegal. Who do you think you are? Therefore, the Chachamim tell us, if you kill animals just for no reason, that is for no reason, and that is like murder. If you're not, Hakadosh Baruch Hu did not allow you to kill animals for no reason. Therefore, if killing, it's like a murderer. And now this person takes an animal that's sanctified in the Beit HaMikdash and shechts it outside of the Beit HaMikdash. That's totally waste. And therefore the Torah over here was very strict and said, if anybody who kills an animal that was sanctified outside of the Azara, he is punishment with complete annihilation of his soul from this world. Mitzvah, מה שאמרו זיכרונו לברכה, the Sadish told us, שאם שחט בחוץ, אף על פי שעלה בפנים חייב, if a person shechted outside of the Azara, and later on brought the animal and burned it inside, he will have a bigger punishment. לפי השחיטה והעלייה בכל אחד לאו בפני עצמו, because we understood that the sin of shechting and bringing the sacrifice in Beit HaMikdash, it's a sin within its own. Each one has its own sin. So we will go into the parashat of I believe parashat Yitro there will tell you prohibition of bringing the sacrifice that was shechted outside. Obviously, the sacrifice that he sanctified, that he shechted, only relates to an animal that is allowed to be brought in the Mikdash. אבל השוחט בחוץ אחד מייסורי מזבח, הרי זה פטור. But if a person sanctify a deer you're not allowed to bring in the Beit Mikdash, right? And then he shechted it outside of the deer. That's not a problem. He's not chayav. שנאמר לפני משכן השם. Now he is maybe going to be punished for just killing a deer for no reason, but it's not going to be correct. The karet is only on an animal that's allowed to be brought on the mizbeach. Kol she'en ra'ui le'avo al mishkan, Hashem en chayavin alav. So if an animal was not allowed to be brought in the Beit Mikdash, which is not fitting, like a deer or a buffalo, all those kind of things, there he is not going to be chayav karet. All in Masechta Zvachim, in chapter 13, we'll discuss all this. Obviously, today even you're not allowed to do this kind of sacrifices because a person who slaughters today, many people have this big problem, misconception. People build a new house and they bring a lamb and make a korban for the right, and they eat it and the whole thing. You have to be very careful not to say it's for the name of korban, not to designate anything for it. You want to shecht a lamb for the new house that you built, beautiful, go ahead. But why are you doing it? Because you want to honor Hashem with a new house, and you want to honor guests, and you want to make a big thing out of it, thanking Hashem Sudan Hodaya that He gave you an opportunity to build a house. That's beautiful. But to tell me it's a korban, chas v'shalom. יחד אמרינן בגמרא במסכת הנזבחים מעלה בחוץ בזמן הזה, רבי יוחנן אומר חייב. Even today the rabbis tell us anybody who brings a korban chas v'shalom is going to be punished with karet. וכל וכן הלכה, and that's the הלכה. ועובר עליה חס ושלום a Jew went ahead ושחט קודשים בחוץ במזיד חייב כרת. Any Jew today does it, he is חייב כרת. ואף על פי שלא העלה אותן, even if he didn't burn it in Beit HaMikdash, obviously because there is no Beit HaMikdash, still by shechting it, nearly by shechting it, chutz with the name of korban is going to be chayav. Me'et sheshchatan chayav. The moment that he shechted it, but if he just designated, he just spoke of nonsense, as long as he didn't do it, he's not going to be punished. וכן אמרו זכרונם לברכה, חייב על השחיטה וחייב על העלייה. The sages told us there is a different sin for shechting, there's a different sin for burning. ואם עבר בשחט בשוגג, חייב להביא חטאת קבוע בזמן הזבח בית. But if a Jew went ahead and by mistake shechted it, and then realized it was asur, there he was going to have to bring chatat kavua in the time of the Beit HaMikdash. He has to write in his paper that he owes a certain korban when the Beit HaMikdash will be rebuilt. Baruch Adonai L'olam, amen. Amen. Whoever needs to make parnasah, lechot titparnasu, make a lot of money without any headaches, without any problems. V'nachal b'simcha u'beshalva.